If you don't like boring news but still crave the truth, then dive into The Robert and Crew Show. From mind-bending conspiracy theories to wild weather phenomena, we've got it all. Ever wondered what's really happening in your hometown, or what secrets the global news isn't telling you? We dig deep into the core of every story, unraveling the mysteries one podcast at a time. Join Robert and the crew as we navigate this vibrant, ever-changing cyberpunk landscape, bringing you interviews with the most intriguing minds out there. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, a news junkie or a weather enthusiast, there's something here for you. So strap in, listeners, because we're about to take you on a ride through the neon-lit alleys of truth and intrigue. This is the Robert and Crew Show, where the future meets the fantastic.
All right, welcome back to the Robert and Crew Show. As always, I'm your podcast host, Robert.
And I'm the podcast co-host, Crew.
And tonight we've got a pretty good one for you, and I think it's the start of a series officially. But today the JFK files, or it was either today or the 13th. What day is today? Today is the 19th. So yesterday was the 18th. So apparently on the 13th, the JFK files were released. I didn't find out until today, and so did a whole bunch of other people. It's been going around on Twitter. We actually have the archives. Basically, if you go to the National Archives, you can access the JFK assassination records. I will put the link at the end of this page once the video is posted for everybody else that wants to go through the files. What we're going to do through this series is we're actually going to read and go through all of the files together. Crew and me have been extremely interested in JFK for a very long time because we always thought there was some grand scheme fuckery going on. And basically, we thought that maybe some people knew that weren't talking about it, and maybe maybe some of the harmful conspiracy theories might have had some truth to them. So I think we were all kind of hoping, that we would find out the truth. And do we? I don't know. I don't know if we do ever figure out who actually committed the murder against Kennedy, but I think some big name people get implicated for sure. So, without further ado, what do you know about the files, Crew?
I know there's about 1,000 of them. A lot of files to go through. It's going to probably take...
There's 80,000.
Yeah, 80,000. Okay, thank you. It's going to probably take about 2 decades to go through all these files. So, we're not going to be able to...
We're going to go through quite a few of them. We're obviously not going to go through absolutely all of them.
Yeah.
But we will go through quite a few of them.
So bear with us, everyone. We're going to try and make this series as long as possible. This is a huge topic.
Oh, and my correction, guys. The files were actually released yesterday. So the files were released today, March 18th, 2025. In accordance with President Donald Trump's directive on March 17th, 2025, all records previously withheld for classification that were part of the President John F. Kennedy's assassination records collection are to be released. The National Archives have partnered with agencies across federal government to comply with the President's directive to support of the Executive Order 14176. As March 18th, 2025, the records are available to access either online at this page in the National Archives or in person via hard copy or on analog media formats at the National Archives or at College Park, Maryland. As the records continue to be digitized, they will be posted to this page. Okay, so that's the National Archives page, guys. This is the page that we're going to be using as a reference, and that page is just it's basically www.nationalarchives.gov, and you can go to the search bar and search archives.gov and just type in JFK assassination records 2025 documents release, and the JFK files will come up. They were officially released yesterday.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot. Like I read through some of them. Now a lot of them, there was some posts that was sent that I did not even see in the files, and I'm like, oh wow.
Oh yeah, well we have some documents like this one, like this document right here. Scout, stop, puppy. I can't help you. And the dog just came up and like growled at me a little bit. Okay, so this document states the attached article, which, oh my gosh, I'm having a little bit of trouble reading this. Can you read it?
The attached article, which may be of interest to you, appeared in the 7th March issue of the Italian Communist Party Weekly. Maita, the writer, Lanfrance Corazzini, I guess is how you say their last name, has been on and off U.S. correspondent for the Italian Communist Press. Note that in the section penciled in red, rumors are referred, which suggests that, what's it say? Something, it was the agency to organize the murder of President Kennedy. Oh, wow. When I
And
read that earlier, hold on. When I read that earlier, I'm like, so the agency does have something to, well, possibly does have something to do with it.
so it basically states that it implicates that the agency, which we don't know which agency, but a lot of us are going to immediately go to the CIA because the agency just sounds like it's probably the CIA. And
Yeah,
they're stating that the CIA, that the rumor was that the CIA allegedly had Kennedy set up for his murder.
sounds
Um,
about right.
these files are absolutely insane, guys. I'm going to be pulling them up for us. So when you woke up today, did you think these files were going to be released?
Absolutely did not. I was thinking we were going to have a chill day, and react to some videos, but then you threw this at me. I'm like, oh, okay, bet. Let's do this episode instead. And we decided to do a whole series on them. Like, guys, we've been waiting for these files to be released for a while. Ever since it was talked about that they were going to be released. That's how
You're right.
excited we got. Hey, Julie.
Hey, Julie, how are you?
She said, hey, guys, I didn't get the notification that y'all were live. Yeah, sorry about that, Julie. And then she says, sounds about right. I've watched a YouTube video last month a little bit about JFK.
Oh yeah, it's super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these files too. I mean, it's not every day that you get to see the JFK files be released, especially the ones that our parents saw get covered up.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of redactions in these files.
Oh, 100% there is.
Oh, yeah. You never get files without a lot of redactions. That's one thing that's messed up.
100%. The more stuff that gets redacted, the crazier it ends up being, though, you know?
Mm-hmm. She says I'm doing pretty good. I've been interested in the JFK files. Aren't we all, Julia? I mean, like, this is a big topic to cover for us to go over for you guys. Like, we've been wanting to do this ever since we even found out about JFK. So, like, now that we can cover it, we're doing like many episodes for this whole series on this one topic. So, you guys are in for a whole good conspiracy to be proven and disproven.
Oh, for sure. And here we go. Look, check this one out. Can you read that at all?
Let's see. Hold on. Agency information, CIA. Hold on. I'm trying to. I can't. I can barely read that. Can you like zoom it in a little bit?
I don't know if it'll let me. Yeah, it won't let me zoom it in.
Yeah, I can barely read that, man.
Okay. Well, good news for you. I have the file
Okay.
right here. So it says agency CIA record number 10-4-10004 10143. Record series John F. Kennedy. File number 201289248. Document information. Document originator CIA. Title: Discussion between member Senior Division Oswald stays in Helsinki. Helsinki trip. User consulate. Paper textual document secret. Restrictions 1B released within deletions. So that's basically saying that Oswald, the guy who apparently killed and shot JFK, that he took a trip or went to Helsinki.
Mm.
So they're basically stating that they knew where Oswald was before he ever attempted to take the president's life. So why did Oswald get away with as much as he did?
Right.
Then we got this. This is actually a receipt of the people that saw the classified document that we just looked at. So
Mm.
these are the people's signatures and the date that they all saw it, which was March 5th, 1975.
Okay.
And that's all you really get from that one.
Mm. That one I can't even barely read.
Yeah. That one, let me see. That one says at at 0900 this morning, I talked with Frank Freiberg, recently returned COS Helsinki Rewarren Commission inquiry concerning the timetable of Oswald's stay in Finland in October of 1959, including his contract with the Soviet consulate there. Copy of the commission letter of 25 May 64 and state cable of 22 May 64 attached. Freiberg gave me the following information. It takes 25 minutes to drive from the airport from downtown Helsinki. By taxi, it would take no more than 5 minutes to reach the Soviet consulate. The Soviet consulate probably closed at 1300 hours local time on Saturdays in 1959. Passenger list manifests at U.S. consulate in Helsinki are retained for 6 months only and then are destroyed. Mr. Fulton was U.S. consular official there at the time. A copy of the state's cable inquiry would go to the Helsinki station and they would assist in the preparation of reply. Mr. Freiberg agreed that this would be worthwhile to the cable and station concerning points that were not covered by the state in their inquiry. He suggested changes were to be incorporated into the cable sent to Helsinki. Okay, so basically, we knew where Oswald was way before he ever tried to attempt to try to take the president's life. And we also knew that he was probably a Russian spy, which, by
Mhm.
the way, the CIA denied multiple times. They said they had no
Yeah.
clue. They knew that he had spent some time in Russia, but why would he be a Russian spy? You know, that kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
So, and it's all starting to come out that we most definitely knew where Oswald was, what he was doing, who he was with, everything.
Mhm.
We knew exactly everything that he was doing. So, I mean, that's not really anything new,
Right.
to be quite honest. Not saying it's not viable information, it's just not anything new.
Yeah.
So, when we look at these documents, guys, you have to understand we're probably not going to find out who killed JFK. I don't think that's going to be in this document release. I don't think they're even going to come out and ever say who actually did the deed itself. I don't think we're ever going to know. Um, but we do need to take into account that this stuff is happening all like these release files are probably going to be more and more and more released daily. I don't think this is all the files even that are going to be released. So there might be tons and tons and tons of other files too.
Mhm.
I'm just going to go to a random file and we're going to read it.
Okay.
This is how we're going to do this because there's so freaking many of them.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to do that and then come up here. Sorry, guys, we have to do this kind of in real time. So, and I don't have like a guy sitting at a computer helping me out at the desktop. If I did, that would be absolutely amazing. But we don't have a production crew.
Yeah.
It's just me and crew guys. So you
Yeah,
gotta.
and hopefully, when we can get our studio, like we've been talking about, we can probably get one of those for us. So that way, we won't have the issue anymore.
Oh, for sure. It would be really nice to be able to actually be on and have ways to pull up information without having to do it all by our own hand and try to pay as much attention as possible and focus on what we're doing.
Mhm.
So here's one. You want to read that one?
The following information was provided by John French by his DCD Miami office on 23rd August. The information was given to the DCD Miami office by a contact not identified on 23rd of August, who obtained it from those something freely. Freely is written by a book on Frank Sturgis. Sturgis is to appear on the Tomorrow Show at 2 a.m. on 24th August, which is to be narrated by Tom Schneider. Sturgis just recently returned to Miami from taping the show in New York. While is New York Sturgis something Marita Lorenz and obtained from her a book which, according to source, appeared to be cryptographic material and seemed to relate to Albania mathematical matrix material. So a few copies of that basically. Sturgis currently today, 23rd of August, is attempting to contact Senator Baker to turn over the material to him. DCD plans to ask the source to monitor the situation and address whether the material is turned over to Baker. Chris Hopkins, I think that's the last name at the very end of it. And then I can't read cursive, so you're gonna have to read that part, brother.
I can't read the cursive either.
Okay, well, um,
It's all
it's
right.
yeah. I see a Phil, an Ado, and Phil in there, but that's all I see. So what's that? So what's this tell you on here? Because I'm confused about this one.
So here, I'll let me read it on my end so I can actually read the whole thing myself.
Yeah, because some of it was hard for me to read because it's so small.
Yeah. Well, it's also these files. These files are written a certain way so that they're hard for the normal person to read and
Yeah.
comprehend. And they do that on purpose.
Right.
They 100% do that on purpose because they want it to be redacted in a way.
Right.
Basically, like if they use enough words that you can't pronounce or that you can't read, then basically they win.
Right.
Okay. All right. So the one you're looking at, what's the title of that one? I found it.
Memoriam for
I
the
found it.
record.
Yeah, memoriam for the record. Subject: Call from John French of DCD concerning Frank Sturgis. Number one, the following information was provided by John French by his DCD Miami office on the 23rd of August. The information was given to the DCD Miami office by a contact not identified on the 23rd August, who obtained it from Oscar Freely. Freely is writing a book on Frank Sturgis. Sturgis is to appear on the Tomorrow Show at 2 a.m. On the 24th of August, which is to be narrated by Tom Schneider. Sturgis just recently returned to Miami from taping the show in New York. While in New York, Sturgis saw Marita Lorenz and obtained from her a book, which, according to the source, appeared to be cryptographic material and seemed to relate to Albania. The DCD source saw a few copies of what he described as mathematical matrix material. Sturgis currently today, 23rd of August, is attempting to contact Senator Baker to turn over the material to him. DCD plans to ask the source to monitor the situation and advise whether the material in fact is turned over to Baker. Chris Hopkins, LACOGCIOS, signed. So basically, what it's saying is this guy Sturgis was being followed and being watched for whatever reasons. They probably thought he was of some kind of interest to the JFK case. And this is basically just saying that they were watching him and they were trying to figure out what's going on because this other person was writing a book on him and he knew other people of interest. So basically, that file is really not that important. I mean, unless we
Right.
find out later that the book that was written was like stupid important or something.
Yeah. So we'll just
But
put this on the debunk shelf for right now until we get further information on this. If we don't, then it's on the debunk because this
well, I
is not
mean,
important.
there's nothing to debunk here. These are all files. These are all
Right.
legitimate files.
Well, when I mean by debunk, like he was just being watched because he was a person of interest. But when I mean by debunk, if we debunk anything in this series, it's more the lines of okay, this is not important.
Right. Oh, get ready for a shit show of files, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm prepared.
Guys, there were so many files released. Literally, so
Mm-hmm.
freaking many files have been released.
Yep.
It's insane.
Like they expect us to go through all of that within days, but it's going to take 2 lifetimes to go through all that. If they release more, then we're like, oh shit, no, we got to go through more.
Oh yeah, no, there's no way that we're gonna be able to go through all these files even within a month. Like, this is all gonna take time.
I hate it when that happens.
What happened, Crook?
Okay, so I went to check to see my chart where how my phone was on charger wise because I have my phone connected to the charger while I'm on here, and it decided to take me out of there for a second. Like That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to leave the stream. I'm trying to be in here.
Right? 100%. So I do have some more. We're not going to go through a whole bunch tonight. We're just looking at some of the files that were released, guys. We're going to make a whole actual like episode on this. That's going to be a lot more oriented and a lot more prepared. We just found out that it was just so crazy that these got released as soon as they did.
Yeah.
So we thought we would go over a little bit of them. We got some comments out here, brother. We got some comments. We got a comment from Julie says, "Hey guys, didn't get the notification. Got another one that says sounds about right. Watched you on YouTube." And okay, I guess you already said all of that. And
Yeah.
then JD says, "Thanks for doing this stuff. It's interesting." You're welcome. I love doing this kind of stuff, JD. Um, but anyways, the files that are coming out. They're just there's so many, and there's not enough time in the world for me to go through each and every one of these. But here's
Yeah,
the next one, crew.
it's gonna take us like multiple different episodes to do a bunch. Okay, you'll have to read that. You'll have to read that one because
Yeah, I'll read it for us. I gotta wait for the stupid stuff to load, man. I hate this. Can't read it off the screen because StreamYard won't let you zoom into what you're trying to read.
right.
Absolutely terrible.
Like I have to like fully bend down and try to read it, and then it hurts my back.
Trying to figure out which one that is. What the heck?
Memoriam for the record, subject, request
No,
for.
we already read that. We already read that one.
No, it's a different one.
Is that a different one?
Yeah, it's a different one. Here, I'll read what I
Man, I
can.
wish it would let us zoom in.
Here, I'll read what I can. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, go for it.
Request
Or wait,
from.
wait. Does this work?
What?
Is that not gonna work?
I can read it now. Subsequent to his second appearance before the Rockefeller
Yo, did it
Commission
not work?
on 3rd February 1775, Mr. Ober returned to headquarters the afternoon on 6th February and the morning of 7th February to continue his review on the fleas he had developed while Chief CISO continue his review on the. Oh wait, hold on. At the request of the
Okay,
commission.
here, I got it. I got it for you.
Okay.
This is what it's. Wait, here. If you're struggling, I actually figured out a way to zoom it into where I can read it.
Thank you. Yeah, because it's messing
Okay,
me up a little
so
bit.
yeah, it says subject request from Mr. Ober for basic documents circa mid 1967. Subsequent to his second appearance before Rockefeller Commission on the 3rd of February 1975, Mr. Ober returned to headquarters that afternoon on the 6th of February and on the morning of 7th of February to continue the review of the files he had developed while Chief CISO at the request of the Commission. He was particularly interested in locating documentation which supported the creation of special counterintelligence operation. He had previously taken note of the 15th of August 1967 memorandum from the DDP to C/CI, but was interested in determining whether there were any more documentations that could be used. in this context. I showed him the following list of documents which I had unearthed in the various and sundry places. Tab A, 4th August 1967, memorandum from Mr. Fred Venison Jr., Assistant Attorney General to Criminal Divisions, Department of Justice to the Director of Central Intelligence. The director's response, tab A, and then the director 25628, 4th August 1967, book message oriented in WH division in response to tab A, WH/COG 67259, 10th of August 1967, memorandum from Mr. Bro C/WH division to Mr. Houston, General Counsel, detailing actions taken to respond to the 4th of August letter of Mr. Venison. Or Mr. Vincent, sorry, not Venison.
Hmm. Interesting.
Right? So, oh my goodness. So what do you think? Like this one basically just states that this person was also being watched, and he was meeting up with different places like the Rockefeller or different groups like the Rockefeller groups, and uh, basically it was his name was Ober, Mr. Ober, and this happened in mid 1967. Basically, it states that he was probably like in he was probably close to the president in some way or another because he was the assistant attorney general, criminal division, Department of Justice, the director of Central Intelligence. So that's why this would have been classified, is because it's basically it has to be classified. This would have to be classified,
Right.
basically. I don't know. There's not a better way to say that.
And at the very bottom, it's a sensitive secret. So
Yeah, it says it was
this is
sensitive
important.
at
This is
one
very
point.
important. So basically, for now, since we already put the other one on the debunk thing, because we don't really know much more on that one. I guess he was being watched. This one on the we're gonna put this on an important because if, with it being a sensitive secret, it's very important. So right now, we'll keep it on the positive scale of good information. So let's move on to the next
We
one.
need to figure out who Mr. Vincent is.
Yeah,
Mr. Fred Vincent Jr. is
yeah.
Assistant Attorney General.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna be able to read that. It's
You're
another
good. I got you.
secret sensitive, so this was very important as well.
So this one reads, if I can, I can't even get it. All right. This one says, I was unable to locate any document from the president or at the White House in the C1SO records and finally contacted Mr. Dixon Davis at OGL. He stated that the DDI has also searched the records, um, looking for a memorandum from the White House requesting a study, but had been unable to locate one. He did, however, have a copy of two memorandum apparently prepared, cover sheets to transmit the finished study to the president on the 15th of November of 1967. Xerox copies. These two memorandums are attached to tab N and O. Mr. Ober was specifically de- desirous desirous of taking copies of tab N and O with him to use at his next appearance before the Rockefeller Commission. He recognized that under the current ground rules, he had to clear this with Mr. Noka. I arranged for Mr. Noka to call Mr. O'Hare as a result of a series of conversations. Business for Mr. Noka and Mr. Ober, Mr. White and Mr. Noka, and myself and Mr. Noka and Mr. Noka's authorized Mr. Ober to take copies of tab N and O's reference material. Um, if asked, Mr. Ober should show these to the Rockefeller commissions, but he was not to authorized to leave these papers with the commission. He was told to advise the commission that if they wanted copies, they would have to request some through Mr. Noka. At the request of Mr. Noka, I'm making all valuable copies of this memorandum to Inspector General, specifically tabs N and O, which Mr. Noka felt had previously been made available to that office. So who's this Mr. Noka?
Right.
And then at the bottom just says Deputy Chief East Act Division. And then it has the attachments of supposedly the different numbers of the different case numbers here or whatever, the distributions.
Right.
So that one I don't fully understand what that one's about yet. Some of these files are not in order, guys.
No, but they're with them being secret sensitive. They're important, so we're gonna keep them as good information to use for now until we get more further information on what these are about.
For sure. You want to read this one?
Okay, so another secret sensitive relay of director 25628, 9th of August 1967 to Brasula, director 26741, 10th August 1967, sending essentially the same message as director 25628 to additional European stations, especially Copenhagen. I'm not going to be able to say those last two, but I can say Stockholm. All right. Director 27069, 11th August 1967 to Copenhagen. Something
Copenhagen,
Stockholm.
Helsinki, Oslo, and Stockholm.
Yeah, Stockholm. Asking for cabled replies to Director 26741, tab F. Director 32283, 31 August 1967, bearing on Director 26741, tab F. 21 September 1967, memorandum from J. Walter Yegley, Assistant Attorney General, Eternal Secretary Division, Department of Justice, to Mr. Lawrence Houston, General Counsel, CIA, tab J, 22nd of September 1967, memorandum from the General Counsel to the Director of Current Intelligence, subject Stockley Carmichael, 28th of September 1967, memorandum from J. Walter Yegley to Mr. Lawrence Houston. 28th September 1967, memorandum from J. Walter Yegley to Mr. Human. 3rd October 1967 memorandum from Mr. Houston to Mr. Yeggsley. Tabs I through M were located in a file held by the Office of General Counsel entitled Stockley Carmichael. The original letter to Mr. Helms, tab A, and his reply, tab B, were located in a file held by Mr. Helms, tab A, and his reply, tab B, were located in a file held by CWH Division, as were a copy of the memorandum from Mr. Bro to Mr. Houston, tab D. The cables tabs C, E, F, G, E, and H were located in the DDO, OPS, ITG, RIBAC. Wow, okay.
Okay, so there's that. I don't totally understand what that is unless that's people that those people are all being watched or something.
Okay, so apparently it's basically at the very bottom explaining that they had replies back and forth to each other of these certain days, but it's not saying what the replies were about.
Right. Like logged information of things that people did on certain days that was important information, but it doesn't necessarily say why they wanted the info.
Right.
Gotcha.
Like letters back and forth those days. And I can't read that, so you go ahead.
Yeah. Oh man, they made this one really hard to read.
Of course they did.
I'm gonna have to get a better copy of this one, guys. I can't read this one. Oh, that sucks.
Right.
I don't know what this one says. I'll save it. I don't know what it says, but it'll be saved.
Here, send it to me via messenger, and I'll see if I can read it.
Yeah, I will send it to you in just a moment. Oh my god, these are all really bad. This one doesn't even have the words on it. Okay, just give me a second. I'll try to send them to you through Messenger.
Okay. I'll have to get my laptop for this, so I'll be right back.
We need to see. We're gonna have to do this again. We're gonna have to be very more prepared. This is on us, guys. We were just so excited to start talking about this. But quite honestly, we got to be more prepared because these files are not in order, and it just seems like they were released like every government file is, and just like thrown out there,
Mm-hmm.
and they expect you to just know that crap, and it
Right.
is very hard to even like follow it sometimes, let alone keep your focus because a lot of stuff gets classified that shouldn't even necessarily be classified.
Right.
What's the name of the first one on that?
I can't read that.
Okay, I'm sending you all of these. You're just gonna have to go through until you find them.
Okay. Well, I got my laptop ready, so.
I sent them.
Okay, let's see here.
Yeah, when we go live next time, guys, talking about the files, we're gonna have a whole show built out, and we're already gonna have files brought up. But the fact that we have to do this off of the mobile devices doesn't really help. It makes things a little bit harder, honestly.
Okay. So, Marigio said we had helped Russo move what we thought was contraband, but Mom believes narcotics also involved. Russo was to sets false documentations, one citing birth belief, British Honduras, the other Spain. In addition, holds Bolivian diplomatic passport, which Morigia claims Maria Paula I can't read that part. Fregatas obtained for him. Later also has something Russo contraband collaboration, according to Moribia. Moribia said he recently obtained asked by Russo to carry undisclosed packages to Miami for looks like 69,000.
Oh, he got paid $69,000 to carry
That's what it looks
undisclosed
like. Yeah,
packages of.
yeah,
That's pretty damning.
Be-
That's like blackmail worthy.
yeah.
What was he delivering?
Belogic 27 said he could arrange with American counterparts protection. Moribria as collaborator if he could agree carry package to make possible detection Miami contact. Maria reluctant because he claims years ago he tried to cooperate with Interpol and almost landed in Miami jail as Interpol failed him. Something Logic 27 feels, however, he claimed he can persuade Maribia. Maribia carried by something 27 on other Russo contacts, said later was to travel to Moran border, something checkpoint, 20th April, to contact person who helps him bring in contraband from Honduras. His person turned
In
out to be,
Honduras?
yeah, turned out to be Global Immigration Chief, also in charge of Customs, Jose something, Barat Jr.
Bayrat Jr., yeah.
Yeah. Logic 27 said Barat from Tugalumla, son of former close friend of President Arama Jose Chips Barati Sr., who was killed by, and it's marked out.
Of course it is.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
So what do you think that means? In your
I
opinion,
couldn't.
what do you think that means? Do you think that person was being targeted, and
Probably, like, they were,
then somebody died? Is that what you said?
I couldn't tell you that somebody died, but from what I'm seeing on here, um,
Dude was killed by and then blank. I
no,
see
it's
that.
like marked out. Yeah, it's marked out.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't say who killed him.
Yeah,
That's convenient.
like the very
So see,
bottom.
see, guys, like
It
that's exactly what I mean.
yeah, it's like there's a line in there and I can't read it.
There's this next one. You got this one? I sent all of them to you.
Okay, I'll have to read via phone because the other one's not letting me. Like,
This one's just so small, I can't read it. I hate that they
okay,
did that. We're gonna have to find a way to make it to where these are a little bit more accessible for our viewers to read.
yeah, all right. So
It's
terrorists,
hard to get these things though just perfectly.
yeah, terrorists, 1972. Durant JM has reputation, involvement, shady deals, but Logic 27 had to appoint him immigration officer, uh, agri something of presidential orders. Logic 27 said he advised President Arama alleged Durant connection with suspected trafficker Russo. President gave something 27 green light, investigate, and take necessary action. Logic 27 sent symmetric team. I can't even read that word. April 20th to verify Russo Durant contact, which as of 30th April was not taking place. Mariba also reported a frequent American contact of Russo is Miami President John Martin, U.S. passport K1699259, who currently staying at Hotel Maya Excelsior, Guatemala City.
Right.
Personal check by Logic 27 revealed Martino, close friend of Artura Aramna, president brother, and has taken Arturo an all something paid pleasure trips to Miami. Logic 27
So he
commented,
was basically paying for his friendship by taking that guy to Miami whenever he wanted. He was basically
right,
like, "I'll take you to Miami as long as we're cool and you do stuff for me." It's basically it's like it's a kind of blackmail, but it's like blackmail by like if you don't do this, then I won't take you to Miami, or if you don't do this, I won't buy you this.
right.
That kind of
Uh,
BS.
let's see here.
It's just like systematic blackmail.
Yeah,
That's why it's classified.
President Arema, fully aware brother Atura is influence peddler who had to be retired from Guatemalan telecommunication job due to excessive draft. Logic 27 agreed not to arrest anyone until something Russo network uncovered and sufficient evidence obtained to establish something Fides Maribra. He observed I can't say that word because it's all blacked out. Our only arm available, and then crossed out.
Some of the words are hard to read.
Yeah, because they're all like redacted in a way.
A lot of them are redacted, but also a lot of them are just poorly written. Some of them actually require like reading handwriting, so that's kind of like shitty because some of these people like have really bad handwriting.
Yeah.
We have one more for tonight, guys, and then we're gonna pick back up on this on another time. We're gonna decide when we're gonna start this, but we have an official. This is our next series, guys. So we're gonna be going through the JFK files. Probably we're gonna probably do that. What day is today?
Today is
Well, what
Wednesday,
day was yesterday? What day was yesterday? It was
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights at midnight. We will be going through JFK files.
Mm-hmm.
So every Tuesday night at midnight, come join us on the podcast via YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And we are going to be going through the JFK files with all of you guys. And we're going to basically go through absolutely all of them. We're going to start from ground one. These were just a few that we found and grabbed tonight just to go through. And quite honestly, they don't make a lot of sense. When they released these,
Yeah.
they were not in order. They were not in order when they released them. So we have random files about different people that somehow um, intertwine with JFK and what happened to him and the assassination. Or the not the assassination attempt, but the actual assassination of John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
But with all of these files released, and since I have all of the files on the computer, and anybody can access these files, by the way, I'm pretty sure I said this earlier, but I'll say it again. Go to nationalarchives.gov. That's nationalarchives.gov and
Yep.
type in at the National Archives, type in JFK assassination files release 2025 and it
Mm-hmm.
will come up right for you. I promise. It'll come right up for you. All of the files. There's 80,000 new files on the JFK assassination.
Yeah.
And
So
files
you
that
all are all in for a huge, huge, huge um story time for yourself.
You're either in for extremely boring Tuesday nights, or those of you who enjoy this are in for very, very wonderful Tuesday nights. And you get a lot of thinking, and we get to put whatever together, and we get to figure out. We're gonna try to figure this mystery out. We're gonna see how far the government lets us actually think about these things, and let's see if they let anything slip in these files that might relate to who killed Kennedy. But we all know that these files aren't going to directly say who killed Kennedy, even though the very first file of the entire files, guys, the very first file is this. And it literally says at the very bottom of the file, it says, note that in this section penciled is or the section pencils is in red. Rumors are referred to which suggest that blank it was the agency that organized the murder of President Kennedy. So the fact that the very first file you open up and that's what it says on the very first file of opening up the files,
Mm-hmm.
that's insane. That's the first file that wasn't released yet. Was basically implement or implicating the CIA instantaneously.
Yup.
Even though they didn't say the CIA did it, they said that it looked like the CIA was implicated in one way or another. But anyways, here's our last file for the night, and then we're jumping off tonight, guys. But we will get back to this, back to the JFK files next Tuesday. So this file right here, do you have this file? If not, I will not be able to read it.
Here
It's
we
too
go. Here we
small.
go. All right, hold on. To him to conduct investigation, which he must do via acting symmetric chi and symmetric lack narcotics training and experience. 7 will advise further developments. 8 files the number 2 and then 2 completely blacked out, which I can't tell y'all. Something 1111 something 11/2 defer index something to impedent.
Yeah, but basically what it is there. It's saying it's about the guy that we read about last time. Literally the file before this. It's the same guy. It's stating that he was caught by the agency or by the CIA or by somebody. He was caught by somebody. He was peddling drugs. He was trying to sell the drugs or whatever, and now
Mhm.
either A got caught and is being held in prison for it, or B was being blackmailed against it. So this one will
Yeah.
be a little bit more fun to like learn what it's about, to like, go into it, because you know that they were the government, low key's been caught several different times selling drugs throughout the world history. So
Yeah.
it'll be quite interesting to see if this is just more Contra stuff, more cocaine for the Contras.
Ain't that the
But
truth?
yeah, but anyways, guys, so tonight this was our first episode for the new JFK files release. We will see you next Tuesday to do the next one, and I did not mean for that to sound like that. See you next Tuesday. Oh, that's so bad. But we will every Tuesday. We'll call it the "See You Next Tuesday" show with the
Yep.
JFK files. Okay. Let's have some fun these next couple of days that we are able to do this. We're going to try to make this a little bit more interesting than it was tonight. I know it's boring to watch two guys pop up files on the computer and not have them all ready and set up. So next time I'm going to have them all ready and set up for us so that we can just start going over. We'll probably go about over 20 files per night. Okay. These files are interesting to go through, but they can just melt your mind because you're reading so much of them at one time.
Yeah.
So I am not going to be able to devote all of my time to these files, but for an hour and 30 minutes on Tuesday nights, I am more than willing to devote my time to this. Do you think the agency killed Kennedy or had their big
Uh,
toe dipped in the
yeah. I
assassination?
I believe they had
Their big
their
toe dipped in
involvement.
the
Yeah, their
assassination?
involvement in it. Yeah, I believe so.
I think the agency knew what was going on. The agency definitely knew that Oswald was making all these crazy trips to and from Soviet Russia, to and from Finland, to and from wherever. They knew about Oswald before Oswald ever took a shot at John Kennedy. So
Right.
the fact of them to be like, well, we didn't know Oswald was a threat. You lying sacks of shit. You've been following Oswald for God knows how long. Y'all knew he was a Russian defect.
Mm-hmm.
They knew he defected to Russia. So how can why and back then it wasn't Russia. Back then it was the Soviet freaking Union.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a lot. Like that right there, just finding all of that out about the government knowing where Oswald was for like years before he ever attempted to kill Kennedy, and they'd been watching him that like hardcore. The government knew what was going on. That right there is already enough information to say yes, they're already implicated in knowing what happened to Kennedy, or at least knowing
Exactly.
that something was going to happen and not even trying to stop it.
Right.
But anyways, guys, we will see you next Tuesday. As always, I'm Robert,
And I'm Crew.
and we're signing off tonight. This is the Robert and Crew Show. Much love, guys. Peace out and have a great night.
If you don't like boring news but still crave the truth, then dive into The Robert and Crew Show. From mind-bending conspiracy theories to wild weather phenomena, we've got it all. Ever wondered what's really happening in your hometown, or what secrets the global news isn't telling you? We dig deep into the core of every story, unraveling the mysteries one podcast at a time. Join Robert and the crew as we navigate this vibrant, ever-changing cyberpunk landscape, bringing you interviews with the most intriguing minds out there. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, a news junkie or a weather enthusiast, there's something here for you. So strap in, listeners, because we're about to take you on a ride through the neon-lit alleys of truth and intrigue. This is the Robert and Crew Show, where the future meets the fantastic.